Hello guys, welcome everybody to Purple Haze Podcast. I am your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. So apparently the 2024 draft has come to an end. And I know I'm a little bit, and I know I'm actually quite behind as opposed to many Vikings content creators, as you can tell. But the show still must go on. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the day 3 picks that the Vikings have picked out for. So they didn't have a day 2. They didn't have any day 2 picks, which is completely fine by me. You already had a solid, you traded it with the Texans, which was worth it. So I think that's a win in my book. But going to the day 3 picks that the Vikings had. So the 4th round pick the Vikings picked cornerback Kyrie Jackson from Oregon. They needed a cornerback, and it's good to pick one earlier than later, or maybe not the first round, because a lot of our first round cornerbacks have been bust. Let's be real with ourselves. Anyway, so I think this is a solid pick. I like where they're going for cornerback, And then the second, and then I believe if it's, I think it's the 6th round. Yeah, they had 2 6th rounds and then 2 7th rounds, I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either 3 6s or 2 6s, so I don't know. Tackle Walter Rouse out of Oklahoma. Out of Oklahoma. So they addressed the offensive line, or the depth at least. Something that needs to be done, really, because let's be honest with ourselves, our depth was terrible. We need depth at offensive line pretty badly, because it was okay, I'm not saying the offensive line was bad in 23, but it was lackluster in 24, so this was definitely needed. A tackle, just in case if Brian O'Neill or Christian Darrisaw go out, he might be the guy. Walter Rouse. And also, I've been hearing, I don't know very much of Walter Rouse or anything like that, but from other Viking content creators, I have heard Walter Rouse is a hidden gem for the Vikings. So, maybe? I don't know. So, we'll see how it goes. And they also addressed a kicker, Will Reichard from Alabama. Which was the first kicker in the NFL draft that they got. And so, you obviously need a kicker, but I kind of wish they would do it more in undrafted, if they would get one from an undrafted free agent, one of the undrafted free agents. I wish they would have done that, but it's not bad. I'm not mad at it. I just wish they would have done that. That would have been fine, but they wanted to get the best kicker that was available, which I kind of understand from Kwesi's perspective, that they wanted to go with the best. And you already have another kicker in free agency, John Parker Romo, and now Will Reichard. So we'll see how good this Alabama kid does, it's just kicking at the NFL league, so who am I kidding? But you never know with any Vikings kicker, but, well, we won't get to that. They had another offensive lineman, Michael Juergens from Wake Forest, I believe a 7th round pick, a 6th or a 7th. So, they got another offensive line from Wake Forest, and then they finally addressed the defensive linemen. It's better late than never. They got Levi Rodriguez from Tech, which I thought he was from Missouri. looking from his jersey point, I thought he was Missouri, so don't take my word for it. Levi Rodriguez from Texas A&M. So, I mean, this dude's really, a pretty solid pick, I would say. So, I would have liked if the Vikings in the first round, went with a defensive tackle with the 17th pick, but I think Dallas Turner is still a good, solid pick. So, I will go with that. So, but, at least you did something than just nothing, because I am fine if you at least do something instead of nothing, because that's what drives you insane. That's what calls you lazy. So, I absolutely like this. So going over the whole entire draft, J.J. McCarthy, Dallas Turner, Kyrie Jackson, Walter Rouse, Will Richard, Michael Juergens, and Levi Rodriguez. So that's 7 picks. So I'll go ahead and grade it. These are just my opinions. You can leave whatever grade you want, but the first round was probably the best part of the draft, I would say, where Kwesi was aggressive in multiple spots, preferring quality of picks over quantity, which is something I never have seen. And that is absolutely surprising and in a good way. So I believe trading up for those picks was absolutely great, and at least attempting to trade for the third with the Patriots and an attempt to try and take Justin Herbert. Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah tried and it failed, but that's okay. At least you try something, but he did not stop there. He went for the 10th and he went for the 17th pick with giving up nothing. Literally nothing. Not really much. Didn't give up future first. You still have your future first in 25, which is absolutely amazing. You don't want to be that desperate. And he absolutely did a great job on that. And also position-wise, J.J. McCarthy, I think, will be solid. Dallas Turner is obviously the best edge rusher. I think he'll put on some great numbers for the Vikings. And I absolutely liked the positions that he filled in that we really needed, which was offensive line and both sides of the trenches. You got 3 positions of need, or like all positions, actually. Maybe defensive end is debatable. You already had some pretty solid signings in free agency. So, can't complain much about this draft, though. It was still really solid. I would say really, really good. Solid is an understatement. I think I will give Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah an A+ for this draft. He did everything right that he needed to do, because I will look on this draft and I will say this is what I will say, that Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah is much, much better than Rick Spielman. Could you imagine Rick Spielman doing this? No, I couldn't. I could not imagine him doing this. But Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has improved from the 22, because not just the draft, but also the free agency. He's improved on both sides of things, and not just getting dreamers or just whatever they want or whatever they feel like, what they need. And Kwesi delivered. And I absolutely credit him for a lot of that. He deserves my respect. So let me know what grade you guys give the Vikings their 24 draft class. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skol.